Hey everybody, this is Alexander here from blockchaingaming.com. How you doing, Andrew?
Good. Nice to see you again, man.
As always, so today we're doing a
Likewise.
game demo of Xayaships. It's on the Xayah blockchain. I don't know as much about it as my friend Andrew here, so we're gonna play. We're gonna do a quick walk through through the wallet, and then we're gonna play a game of Xayaships, which is you may have seen battleships before. It's quite similar. It's a good example of a historical board game that translates well into a blockchain game based on it being turn-based. You don't necessarily need to be with your opponent to play, so it's a good fit for a port over. So we're going to be running through how that works and talk about the wallet a little bit as well.
Yeah. So, this is a game that I've nerded out on, or the concept of games like this a while. We're trying to build a fully decentralized video game. First, you can see the wallet client. It's pretty easy to set up and sync when you're loading the blocks here. And we're going to talk a lot about blocks on and off chain in this broadcast. Here you're loading the main chain. We've already synced the chain before starting this broadcast to make it go more smoothly. But right now you're seeing major things like people's XAYA balances or the conclusions or results of games and matches. So when you first load this wallet client, you're not downloading everything in the Xayah universe. And this is a scaling feature. You only need to download the transaction data for stuff you like or that you're interested in. So for this broadcast, this can be Xayaships.
Yeah, so one thing that was interesting with the wallet, I'm not sure if you know why they made this decision, but when you originally sent me some of the chi, which is the native token to play around with, you sent it to my Vault wallet, and I had to switch some to my game wallet. So do you know why there's the two versions?
I do not recall. Personally, I don't think there's a technical necessity for it. It was just some feature or standard practice they decided to have. Uh, Probably I could have sent the Kai directly to your game wallet. And just to recap, the pronunciations I've learned for these are Kai
Oof,
and Xayah.
Xayah. Okay,
Yeah,
so Xayah and Kai, not Zaya and Chi. I was way
yes,
off.
I've been told.
I feel like
Um,
Chi is like they're gonna have a hard time with that branding. Everyone's gonna think it's Chi forever. It's really hard to get that across. But what was it, Zaya?
Xayah, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
makes
one more
sense for
thing,
the pronunciation.
before we get into the game we're going to really demonstrate today, one more thing about the wallet. You can see it says is pruned false. I'm not sure when they'll start pruning, but I'm sure they will eventually. For those who don't recall off the top of their heads, pruning is another scalability feature. Zaya is all about scalability features because gaming is huge and therefore hard to put on the blockchain. With pruning with Bitcoin, it just works like we delete really old transactions that we don't need anymore from the ledger and instead, start from later on in the history and start off with the balance. We're making it smaller. Uh, and there's some trust involved in pruning a blockchain. Like,
You can still verify it all yourself, so you'd still download all the blocks and verify them, and then your own client is the one that gets rid of them. So you're not like, as long as you don't download an already pruned blockchain from someone else, you can, as long
right.
as you prune it yourself, you're still getting all the original
Well,
verification.
we're not going to get Yeah. I think when I played Hunter Coin back in the day, uh, I did download the pruned version from someone, but
Yeah,
that person was the developer and it seemed pretty trustworthy.
yeah.
But like
So
you
it
said,
saves time.
yes, I could download first and prune later if I wanted to be fully decentralized.
Yeah, and
But
some people
that
even say that pruning is the more hard lines say that if you prune your node, it doesn't count in Bitcoin. But like for the most people, like because if you prune your node, you can't share your node. Like your node can no longer contribute to other people downloading the initial chain. So it's like it's nice if you don't need to prune, if you don't need the hard drive space, like don't prune. But like it makes it so like the whole blockchain for Bitcoin fits in like under a gigabyte, I believe, a couple gigs pruned.
hmm, interesting.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's only
you'll
the most recent transaction of each coin. right? You just get rid of the history of
You'll
all of them.
find with the Xayah team goes back many years. Like they're pre-Namecoin. They've been working.
Oh
Their
wow.
chief scientist has been a contributor to Bitcoin for a long time. And so you can see here, like the construction of Xayah, like we see there's pruning involved, there's atomic transactions, which we won't go into much today, really. But my point is, you see a lot of features that either are shared with Bitcoin or were proposed for Bitcoin, but the rest of the community disagreed with their implementation. That's why these guys built Namecoin. You know, they wanted to do it on Bitcoin. The community said, no, this is for currency, so they built Namecoin.
Yeah, I'm right.
But these are essentially forks of their predecessors with tweaks. There's a lot of Namecoin code probably sitting around in Xayah's infrastructure.
Yeah, and another thing, if you're familiar with Electrum, which is like one of the most old school common desktop wallets for Bitcoin, this is an Electron fork, which is like it's one of the most commonly forked wallets that just gets moved to other coins. So like most of the stuff it can do is like pretty familiar. The layout is a slightly bit different, but for the most part, like it's pretty close. And you kind of got all your same like send receive, like copy address, like it's all pretty straightforward. It did take me a minute to figure out there was a separate wallet. So when I loaded up the game the first time, because my coins were in my Kai was in my Vault wallet, not my game wallet, it didn't detect them at first. But yeah, once we got that out of the way, we had a pretty fun demo game earlier, or not demo game, but a test game. So we're gonna bust into a game soon. I did actually want to say there's also a name feature, so you do record your name. Um,
Mm.
and I guess this one time Doge was already taken. It always is, unless you get there first. So I got Doge Preacher as always. But there's a lot of blockchain games that let you reserve names. I have Doge in like so many of them. Like a new game comes out with name reserve, I just grab it.
Yeah, and that's another way you can see the Namecoin legacy in this game. Um, and they're doing a thing called Xayah ID or Xayah ID. The idea being uh, just names and identities on the blockchain, but here used for your gamer tag. So it would be proven on the blockchain that I are Doge Preacher.
And that
You
I
know,
own.
yeah,
That's
um,
the important part.
and,
It's like a leaderboard forever.
yeah. We'll see about that soon, won't we? Uh, why don't we start up the Xayaships?
Yeah, let me boom. Okay, I got it up right now. I'm gonna minus one, get my
All right.
wallet out of my way. Yeah, so I see your lobby you have created here, so I'm gonna hop in.
Actually, I haven't.
Oh, uh-oh. Well, that might have been there from earlier.
Interesting. Oh wait, I do see one, but I don't know what. Did you join it?
I just clicked join. It said something.
Oh, I don't know what it's gonna do.
So when was the release on this game? It's still pretty new, right?
Pretty new.
Yeah, because I
This
noticed the
is
leaderboard as oh some okay that
okay.
happened.
Oh, it
Yeah, there we
started.
go.
All right. So let me just explain what just happened. Um, First of all, you'll see there's a state, which is, they're showing latest blocks or latest transactions. They show it for Xayaships as well as they do for the Xayah client. And it's a different number. That's because there's more information. We're playing on a side chain, basically. When you play, when you're on the main chain, the main Xayah chain, you don't download the information for every game, and an example or analogy I would use is if you have an Xbox 360, you don't have the data on your hard drive for games you don't own and don't play, right? Why
Yeah,
would you? So in Xayah, you only are part of the side chains that correlate to games and apps you are using. So Xayaships has its own, and so viewers aren't seeing that because we loaded the blocks before starting. But if they had, they would have seen us loading additional blocks at the start of this game. And those blocks were things like most of it would be saying who's won how many games of Battleship against whom and what the prizes or bets were. Now, when you joined my lobby, what happened was, all right, we're gonna get super into scaling talk now. Game channels, which are basically like lightning channels or any other state channel, where we don't want to play a battleship directly on a main network, even directly on the sidechain or directly on the portion of the XAYA blockchain correlating to XAYA, because it's not necessary. Only two of us are playing, right? Does everyone else really need to see our moves all the time? At least not immediately. What happens is, similar to how in a lightning channel, two players just transact among themselves. They send transactions to and fro, and they keep track of the balance between them with commitment transactions. Here, the idea is similar. There's some differences under the hood slightly, but the general idea is the same, which is that we are interacting with each other, you and I. So when I created a lobby, I proposed starting a game channel. You confirmed and joined my channel, and a channel is opened between the two of us. It is now open. And let's see if I can place some ships. Have you already
Yeah,
placed
I just have been placing mine around, and I think I've got my final setup. Yeah, so
All right.
yeah, the next thing would be that when we place our ships, so that's all happening locally. But when we start the game, we're going to be committing ours like secretly to the blockchain, and at the end of the game is when we kind of like reveal that everything was the truth. Does that sound about right?
There's an additional layer of complexity somewhat. So we, well, at the end of the game, we'll both know everything, and then we'll tell the whole network everything. We'll close our channel and broadcast who the winner was. At the start of the game, though, what you're talking about is essentially, and I just wrote an article about this, fog of war, which is
Oh, okay.
the idea that in a game you don't always see the whole map, right? But on the blockchain you do. That's why in Hunter Coin you could see everything that was happening, the whole map. There was complete vision, true sight, instead of only being able to see the tiles around you. Battleship similarly needs fog of war. You shouldn't be able to see the tiles on my side of the board, nor I the tiles on yours. But in order to prevent cheating, it has to be known that you are telling the truth about where you initially placed your ships, right? So what we do is this. At the start, I haven't submitted position. Let me go
Yeah,
ahead
I
and do
already did
that.
the submit position button up here. So once you have your ships down, you submit position. Then when both players do it, the game will start. So we're just waiting on Andrew now. We can keep talking about the game as we play through it.
So when you submitted your position, basically what you did was you took the hash value of your side of the board with all the pieces, locations on it, and you sent me that. Now, whenever you say that I hit or missed one of your pieces during the game, I am trusting you, really. But when the game ends, you will reveal your side of the map, which you know. You've just not shown it to me yet, because otherwise I'd know where to shoot.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game, you show it, and I will hash that and compare it to the previous hash value you showed me. If they differ, you have lied during the match about where your ships were, and it will make you lose by default. And if we bet any money, I will get it.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that question next. First, the comment though is, well, you submit your position. I want to give a good little comparison. So the way they
I
built
did
this,
already, actually.
oh,
It
so did
didn't
I.
register.
Oh, yeah, I already did mine. Try yours again. Oh,
Oh, I moved.
there you go. Yeah, so
And I missed.
a good analogy would be like this would be like the blockchain would be like the console, and each side chain is like the different games. So instead of basically, you buy your console and then you buy each game for it. Whenever game you have, you can, play with the other people that have that game. But in this case, you're just downloading a blockchain instead of your console, and each game you play is just a separate side chain that you can download or get rid of at any time.
Yep, that's a good analogy. Just like with PlayStation, you have memory sticks. Your
Yeah, keep
memory
going.
sticks aren't storing memory cards. You're not storing data for games you don't play. Same concept here in XAYA. the main client won't store any game state data it doesn't need, and this Xayaships is storing only Xaya transactions.
All
And
right, let's keep it going.
like you said, if you get bored of Xaya and delete the client, you can stop holding those transactions and prune them.
Yeah, and you can always get them back anytime. Like you can
If
always
you want to
re-download.
re-download them through the network, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed again.
So did I.
Now, I don't think we bet anything, but
Yeah.
we
So
could.
that was my next question actually, is betting. So that's built in.
What's that?
So betting is built in fully.
Yes.
Nice. That's very
And
important.
used to disincentivize attempts at cheating. I mean, we'll all know you cheated at the end if you cheated when you reveal your map and I check the hash.
Yeah.
But the network will also know you cheated. The most you could do is grief us and waste an opponent's time, by making me play for a while and then cheating. Time wasting
You
is.
sunk my blockchain ship.
Ooh,
So if you hit
very
the person, you get to go again, and he just sunk my force base carrier. And I've
yeah.
been thanks to my girlfriend for that joke, but I've been waiting to say that all day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice and
Oh my
early.
god, that's so rough. Okay,
Come on.
this is a decimation here. Well,
Recall, when I shoot here, I'm sending a transaction saying which tile I would like to fire at, and then you verify whether or not I had a hit.
you
But
definitely
if
got
you
some hits
lie,
there.
yeah, I mean, that's automated. So you are not hacking open the game client and cheating with the transactions and trying to forge things.
Yeah, so it would be
I'm talking
super.
about if.
It would be very difficult to do this cheating you talk about, but the whole point is to build these systems. Oh my God, really? The whole point is to build these systems in a way that oh man, you hit a lot. The whole point is to build them in a way that like they remove the possibility of cheating.
Yes.
Oh, you can go again. This is looking like it might be a shorter game,
No,
but you
you
never
hit me.
know, man. Like some of my ships are pretty well hidden.
Isn't it your turn still?
Oh, I hit one. Oh,
Yeah,
take
you hit
that,
me.
bro.
Hit me.
Yeah,
Okay,
1 and
good.
4. All right.
So yeah, basically you could cheat, but you would be caught and penalized. And in a non-blockchain game where it's one person playing against another person off of a server, you could cheat in that too, really. Like if I tried to play StarCraft with you off BattleNet,
Yeah.
I could probably hack open my client and confuse your client and stuff like that.
Or at least give yourself map view. Okay, I think it's you again. You sunk my blockchain ship.
Or did I?
Oh, I gave it away, man. Oh yeah, that's the other thing to tell. Don't tell the other person
I
if they
thought you
sunk
were
it or
lying to
not,
me.
because if you tell them, the client doesn't actually tell them that he sunk a full ship.
Yeah. There's
Oh
still
man.
some
Oh, I got it.
Ooh.
Let's go here. Oh, suck it all the way. No. So now I don't know if that was a full ship or not. It's just kind of a guess. And until you sink the 4 ship, any of them could be the 4 ship. He got mine first. That was pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't have put it against a wall though, I guess, because then it's not a certain direction.
Yeah,
I guess I'll
think
check if that's your
true.
4. It was not.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going up. The camera can't see it, but I'm going down here.
I believe as we're playing, we're I hesitate to call it a blockchain because there's not lots of people confirming their own transactions in a block simultaneously. This is more like a chain of transactions between you and I alternating.
Yeah, that will settle up later. So very similar to a Lightning channel. I think they call them game channels here, but also Ethereum has some state channels. Like a lot of the as a scalability tech, like a lot of them have chosen like channels. So it's good to see like a working version on a completed product. Oh, I guess I didn't ask. What's the is it my turn or yours?
Yours.
What's the what is the consensus on the main blockchain? Like, how is it mined? Is it staked?
Yeah, it has merge mining with Bitcoin, and I think another one I forgot off. I never was too nerdy on mining,
Yeah,
but I
that's how
think
you
they
know
have.
they're old school, though, for sure.
But they have 3 algorithms, and they are into that kind of thing. But it's definitely a merge mind multi-algorithm setup.
Ah. All right. I feel like I'm. Oh man, you're. Yeah, we've got a lot of spaces covered. I mean, I've only got one of yours. There must be like some sneaking in. Like, there we go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go. So I
no.
got at least a deucer there. Let's see if it's another triple. It was not. All
Darn.
right, you're up.
But
Okay.
yeah, I think the way it works is that my transaction, to the extent that this is an alternating chain of transactions, mine has to reference your last one, and your next one has to take the hash of my current one, the move that I'm making now.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry, unlike with Bitcoin, where we have to worry about the order in which money was sent, because if it was sent in one order, you may or may not
Ooh,
have enough money to do it compared with another double spend attacks is what I'm talking about.
ooh, double hit. Sorry, getting too excited
But
to listen. Oh,
ooh,
let's go for it. Is this your 4?
nope.
No.
But yeah, in this case, we don't have to worry about the time at which a transaction was issued, because it's not possible for you to make a move not based on my previous move. You cannot go twice in a row. And the most you could do is try to make a move on a previous move further back in the chain, one that you already responded to. This would have no effect on the game state, right? It would just be superfluous and silly and waste your time.
Oh, you got my corner boy. I feel like you might have a corner guy over here, and I've just missed it.
Another thing is
Nope.
if you try to issue 2 moves at once, that's a funny thing that could happen. Probably what will happen in this game, if you try to issue 2 moves at once, is my client will probably just register whichever one it detected first. But under the hood, there's interesting technicalities to if you tried to cheat in this way by issuing 2 at once. Basically, what prevents that kind of confusion is issuing 2 transactions at once, if I did that, would leave things in your favor. Here's what I mean. Suppose, oh wait, it's your turn now.
Yeah, I think you gave up a free hit there. Oh man, hold on. Oh, we also didn't mention at this current state in the game, there might be a bug. We're not sure about putting ships next to each other, so we just avoided doing it.
Right.
And we're not sure if
Yeah.
that's an actual thing or not, but that's
It
why
was at
we.
some
So if you
point
look
in
at the
my
strategy,
difficulty.
I'm mainly saying because if they look at the strategy I'm using, they'd be like wondering like, how do you know there's nothing there? Or I'm kind of
Yeah.
ignoring the bottom now on my side because I feel I've covered it because yeah, that's how it is. So he's only got a couple ships left, and I don't think this one's a spot because of that. So like just yeah, that's the depth here at the moment. I mean, there's only so many spots left. If you're 4 ships anywhere, it's got to be somewhere. No, man.
But anyway, so think about this, in Bitcoin, I could try to issue 2 send transactions, in total sending more money than I have, and only one of my recipients would get the money. In this game, however, if I try to issue 2 transactions at once, uh, on the most basic level, your client's probably programmed to accept my first one. But on a really deep, decentralized level, what happens is if I issue 2 transactions, you simply get to pick. That's me issuing 2
Oh,
moves.
so you just
You
picked
would
the worst
simply
one.
get to pick.
So I
Yeah,
picked the
you'll
worst
just
one.
pick the. So suppose I issue 2 moves at once, and one of them's a hit and one of them's a miss. Obviously, the one where I missed is the one you'll process, and then once you issue your move on top of my move, it's too late, right?
That is cool. Oh, your turn again, I think. We only got a few more. Maybe we can sneak in one more game when we're done this one, and we'll do the next one really fast.
Let's see. Still my turn, huh?
I'm going here. Oh man. Oh, I got you. Okay, so this has to be an up and downer. This is your 4-ship for sure. Gimme. Oh, wrecked. It's probably a
Nope,
2-ship.
nope. Based on what logic?
There's not enough 4 space down. I've already got both your 3s, I think, as long as we're correct, as long as I'm correct about you not putting them next to each other, because there could be a fourth. Your 3 down one could be a 4th one. Oh, you got one of me. Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. See, you're running out of places to click too. So that means the 4-ship's got to be here.
No.
Oh, you get to go again.
It's still my turn. I got to get 2 more of your little ships.
Yeah, and see, you know that I can't get them on top of each other. So yeah, this one, this
no.
one. Oh, that's rough.
Ooh.
Oh, you get me? Oh, you did. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when you have it fully boxed in and you like haven't solved it yet. So what do I have left? There's 4 little ones, 2 3s, 4 little ones, eh? So that means one's gotta be here? Oh, it's your turn again. Somehow. Oh no, I got it. Oh, I missed it. Oh man. Okay.
You'll never beat me.
I don't think I will.
I am the battleship. Sorry, I am the Xayaship master.
Yeah, because there's not enough. Because of the spacing, you only have a few options left.
Wait, is it your turn?
No, it's yours, I think.
It's not
Oh no, it
letting me
is
click.
mine. Okay, so this has to be one. It's being a bit laggy. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that worked. So that's 2, 2. This could be a bigger one, I guess. This one's gonna be 4. Okay.
Oh,
4, 3,
my
3.
carrier.
2. Where's your other ones? Right here? Right
I
here.
don't know.
Oh man, really?
I know where that is.
Oh man. Oh, you missed?
Thought for
Running
sure
out of
you'd be in
running
this
out of
corner.
options though, right? Both of us. It has to be like close by. I don't see how you couldn't have put them touching.
Magic.
So that's got to be one. It's on one side, and then where would your other one be? Right here? So I got a YOLO 2 correct answers after I get this one. Oh. Okay.
Oh, how'd you do that?
So this, well, because there's only so many spots left. So I got a 50-50 up-down that I have to get right, and a 50-50 left-right. So 2 50-50s. If I get them both, I win right now.
That's a 25% chance.
25%. Let's go up.
Ha!
Oh, okay. Let's see what you got.
25%.
Oh, you got it.
50%
50%. 50%.
Left or right? I'm going right.
Oh, GG's.
Aha! Game finished.
Where were you? So on the bottom one, left, right one that I got. It doesn't show me. Were you left or were you right?
I was bottom and I was left.
You bottom and left. Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. Yeah, I don't know if I have time for another one, but that was actually pretty good. Yeah, is there any other cool stuff about this game you want to mention? So it seems like we had a bit of a freeze, but yeah, we were about done anyway. So thank you guys for watching. I think I'm frozen. Oh no, I'm not frozen. You can see me in the corner. There you go. Thank you guys for watching.